Yo, 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 welcome back to the Grady Podcast. Talk about all things Grady. How's it going today, Grady?
Well, no Grady again this week, I guess I would say.
Breaking our streak of one in a row, Grady's.
Yeah, one Grady return in a row. Well, I also just don't really want to hold a Bluetooth speaker through an entire episode, so we need to figure something out for that.
No love.
But anyway, no Grady again on throwing from the one. Now a YouTube production.
Is this episode 20?
It is episode 20.
Nice.
The big
we can almost drink.
2-0. Yeah, we're getting there. If every episode is a year and our podcast is a human in the United States.
Yep. We can drink in Canada.
We can drink in Canada. The podcast can drink in Canada. Me and you can drink in Canada whenever we want.
Everyone drinks in Canada.
It's episode 20. The Red Sox won the World Series.
They did walk. Dodgers taking it in 4.
It's Wednesday. The Dodgers indeed did not take it in 4. The Red Sox winning 4-1. The Dodgers win being the embodiment of why we hate baseball on the podcast.
That was great.
The longest, most terrible sporting event
ever
created.
How about Evaldi, though?
An 18-inning marathon ended
How about
with the Dodgers
Evaldi,
walk-off.
though?
Yeah, we can talk about. We'll get to all that. Actually, I don't know. You want to just we should start World Series. It's the most relevant news. There's not that much else. You know, the Patriots won against a terrible team. The Seahawks
are going to the bowl.
Are they? I didn't watch their game at all this weekend.
Oh, well, we looked good again. We were up 3 touchdowns most of the game and held on to win by 2 touchdowns.
Do you want to clear football first things first? What do you want to do, Jeremy?
No, let's do the World Series.
All right, we're back on the couch. You are probably, statistically speaking, listening on YouTube because most of our listeners already are on YouTube. That's great. Like us on Facebook at Throwing From the One if so. And, hey, comment on something so it's not just us and my dad getting involved.
Wong.
And, yeah. Subscribe if you are listening on YouTube as well. You're probably signed into your Gmail. You just, it's no work. Hit the subscribe button. Thanks, Google. Yeah, baseball. Red Sox won the World Series. Best team in baseball, wire to wire, I would say, basically.
Yep.
Which was...
Suck it, Yankees.
Basically just my skeptical nature, I think, is the only reason why I was questioning it, because they really were... Well, I don't know, because we questioned it on the podcast as a unit for quite a while.
Yeah, well, they bleached those boxers before the playoffs started.
Oh, they really did. There was no poo-poo marks in David Price's playoff panties, that's for sure.
Yep.
Wait, did he have 2 wins in the World Series, or just he had 1 win and 1 good start, I think?
I don't remember.
Yeah, but the win was...
He definitely won the last game.
He definitely won the last game. It was pretty... What did he go? 7 innings?
I thought it was only like 6 and
6.
something.
Yeah, that sounds right, actually. But either way, I mean, that was a pretty impressive start right there for anybody, much less the poopy pants man.
Yeah.
And he definitely... I mean, he allowed 1 run on the first pitch, basically. So, and I don't even remember if it was a terrible pitch or not. It's just like you literally throw the first pitch of the ball game and LA goes up 1-0. So, and then
it all went downhill after Yasiel Puig hit that 4-run dinger, 3-run dinger in Game 4.
Yeah.
Looked like the Dodgers were going to tie it up, and then 36 hours later, the series was over.
Yeah, true. I mean, it was actually kind of an interesting series in that way, because it could have been a sweep for the Red Sox very easily. If basically Ian Kinsler doesn't airmail a throw, yeah, then the Red Sox probably sweep that series. But, that's an easy game because it's also, I mean, the Red Sox scored on an error in that game too that was tied 1-1, in that inning. So, I don't know. It's hard to play that if game. I would just say that the Red Sox could have swept that series pretty easily. at the same time, I feel like it could have gone 7 games if things had gone a little differently. And, maybe the Red Sox don't. That's the thing. It's what they did all year. They just won games.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
The Dodgers bullpen was getting lit up.
Yeah.
Kershaw was disappointing again.
So speaking of bullpens, that's the weird thing. Because Price is not that surprising. Eventually, it was bound to happen. He's a good pitcher. Like, he's going to have some good performances. And this year, Alex Cora, everything they were touching was turning into gold. And then that's the surprising thing to me was the role reversal. The bullpen for the Red Sox, all of a sudden, you got, like, Joe Kelly throwing bullets, can't miss the strike zone out there. I mean, Kimbrel was sketchy. But he was really the only question.
Great.
He was the only question mark in the bullpen for them in the postseason, which their entire bullpen's been a question mark all season.
That Evaldi relief outing was like the best relief outing I've ever seen.
So that helped. And Nathan Evaldi, in retrospect, what an underrated trade by Dave Dombrowski for the Red Sox, because they. I didn't think anything of it. It was like, okay, another arm to a unit of just arms. Yeah, cool. There's a bunch of stuff out there, but there's no real pitchers. And then if Aldi comes out in the playoffs and another guy who just, although he was gaining some momentum late in the year for them. And then in the playoffs, he just comes out and same deal. He's just throwing lasers out there. And yeah, it was like 6 innings, 97 pitches of relief, and he's like throwing 99 on the 97th pitch.
And it was his 3rd game in a row pitching.
Yeah, he was scheduled to start the next day.
He did not.
No, he did not. Which
get back out there, kid.
Risky move by Cora somewhat, actually, because potentially if LA beats Evaldi, which they did. And then if they go out and Rodriguez blows the next game, which he sort of tried to do, well, that's not fair. But if Rodriguez blows the next game, then, all of a sudden it's a series.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, all year, Cora, basically that's how he managed games when they had a chance to win. If it was, can we win a game right now? And if the answer is yes, then he would try that move. So... it worked, obviously, 119 whatever total wins.
Yeah, well, I think once Evaldi got up over, 50 pitches, he's like, well, I can't start him tomorrow or probably the day after. So I may as well not use up anyone else. Because I think if you're selling out there, that Chris Sale could have came in.
Well... potentially Chris Sale could have, but I honestly think they trust Evaldi more to last. And I think
Chris Sale close out the last game.
No, but this is what I'm saying for distance.
Oh, well,
I think they would trust Evaldi more to go because Sale was a.
I'm talking about the last couple innings. Once Evaldi was up over 70 pitches, like if they were selling out on that game, they would have brought in Chris Sale, a fresher arm.
Potentially, I don't know. I mean, but Evaldi hadn't. Again, he wasn't letting up. He was still, he missed one pitch at the end, basically.
Yeah.
They might have stuck with him for another inning.
I don't know.
And it might have been another.
That was his 3rd day in a row, dude.
Realistically, no. But what I'm saying is, like, the guy, he wasn't. It's not like he fell apart on the mound out there at any point, or even showed any. Like, why not? Theoretically, he's a workhorse starter. So if you put him in that game to go the distance, which is why you would put the workhorse starter in there, unless you think it's going to be, or it's that. I mean, they also used him. Another good thing they did with him in the postseason actually was using him as their 8th inning guy, which was something they lacked all season, was a consistent setup man. So they would, games just got sketchier and sketchier as you got to the end, and then Kimbrel would come in, and instead of quieting everything down like the closer's supposed to, he's like,
walk the bases loaded,
walk 2 dudes, throw 3 balls in the dirt, let's see what happens. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
What is the deal with that? I hate it, dude.
Gotta stretch it out, dude.
Bugs me so much.
Spider-Man. LeBron Sprite commercials. I missed that commercial.
Did we unanimously pick Houston on this podcast?
To win the World Series? Yeah. I think so.
I think we unanimously picked the Astros to repeat. And I do think they were the 2nd best team in baseball this year. Honestly. I think they probably would have beat the Dodgers too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, the Red Sox, you can't really argue with what they did. They walked through the Yankees, the Astros, and the Dodgers, basically.
Yeah.
Didn't they set... I don't know if they set the record or if it was a franchise record, but they did. They had a pretty impressive run differential in the postseason this year. Like, very impressive.
Yeah.
They beat up
Well,
on
it helps
some teams.
when you win a game 16 to whatever.
It does. And Alex Cora says you can suck on that, Yankees, at the parade.
Yep. That's fun.
Parade, no. The World Series trophy got dinged up. I don't know how bad, do you?
No.
So Alex Cora got hit with a beer. The World Series trophy got hit with a beer. Beers were flying all over the place at the Red Sox parade.
Sox!
Yeah, go Sox.
Have you heard the story about Robert Kraft's daughter's boyfriend dropping a Lombardi?
I have not heard that. I might have, but I don't know it.
Apparently, one time he let his daughter's boyfriend at the time hold a Lombardi, and he dropped it and dented it.
That's fine. I mean, I'm sure those things get damaged, dude. The Stanley Cup, the players get to keep it each for a day in the off season. All the winning guys, so like they all take it on jet skis and stuff. Like, it's fine. I'm sure they'll fix some Lombardi trophy.
Well, the Lombardi trophies are not 100 years old.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's a bigger deal with the Stanley Cup. I think this is a video of the trophy getting dinged.
At least it didn't get run over.
Possibly because a man threw a beer at it.
You've seen that video, right? When I think Barcelona won the championship and they dropped the trophy out the front of the place.
That is the all-time great parade gaffe for sure. Anyway, I don't know. You said this guy... Oh, yeah, he did. He got charged with disorderly conduct, assault, and battery. He was 19. Patrick fucking Connolly, 19, was charged with disorderly conduct.
What a Boston name.
Yeah, seriously. The 19-year-old. Look at this guy right here. Guaranteed. That is Patrick Connolly right there.
Hype.
Go Red Sox! You want a warm beer?
The guy next to him's like, Kyrie!
Oh, wait. No. See, it is Patrick Connolly. This is the guy who got charged because he hit Cora. So this 19-year-old nailed Alex Cora with a beer.
That's unchill.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I mean, he got carried away. He just threw a beer up there. I can't tell if it was the same. There's some ambiguity as to whether or not it was the same beer. So that part of the story is something to keep an eye on, but Patrick Connolly. Yeah, wow.
David Price was not happy about it.
David Price is coming back. He opted in before the parade, not officially, but he has chosen to return to the Red Sox for his age 35, 6, and 7 seasons at $30 million a year.
Wow, that's a deal.
Who could blame him?
I think that's a deal for the Red Sox. $13 million?
30.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, not a deal.
Yeah. No.
Was it a mutual option?
No.
Just a player option?
Player option. Yeah. And the hope was that he would play well, win a World Series, opt out, and go get money elsewhere, but he's still not. I don't think he's getting $30 million elsewhere.
He's like, nah, I'm chill.
Yeah. So Price is back, and I don't know. I can't decide how I feel about it now, because is he not going to be the poopy pants man anymore, or was this just like a momentum season? And
do you still want to be paying a 37-year-old $30 million regardless?
So, no. By the time he's 37, it's a bad deal for sure, because there's no way he's going to be what he is even now. But at the same time, I still... If you're in the next 2 World Series and you win one of them and he's, your horse, then like...
Nay.
Then you're in on it, dude.
Nay.
No, not nay. He's got... I don't know. I mean, he's got the stuff. He was more important for them in this postseason than Chris Sale.
Yeah.
He was. I mean, Sale's the better pitcher, but the belly button ring, You know,
Belly button ring.
it was a saga. And
Speaking of which, what the fuck?
Oh, it was a joke, I'm pretty sure.
Is it?
I think it was a joke. Yeah.
I hope so.
I'm pretty sure it was a joke. He said he got asked about it in a press conference or on a conference call or something, and he made some like snide reference to it. Like, I don't know, do you guys think I was serious? Because I think it was a joke.
Sus.
I don't think that's why he went to the hospital.
Sus.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's kind of sus. But I kind of tend to believe it because who goes to the hospital for a belly button ring? And as soon as I saw that, I was like, really? He's going to miss playoff pitching for a belly button ring infection?
Yeah.
No.
It stings.
There's no way, dude.
It stings.
It can't sting that bad.
Did you see Bill Belichick give Tom Brady a thumbs up after the win on Monday?
No. I'm sure that was painfully awkward.
Tom Brady was doing the right after the game press conference on the field, and Bill was walking off, and for some reason, as he was speaking, he just like tapped him on the back walking by and went, and Tom was just like,
Oh no.
It was clowning. Double thumbs up.
Thumbs up back and forth on camera. Bet that was a pre-calculated move before the game. Brady's like, okay, I'm going to do the post-game, Bill. If we give each other thumbs up on the just make a positive gesture. What's like a positive thumbs up? That's a positive affirmation. Let's just make a positive affirmation
like,
at each
I
other.
Can
so
do that.
Knows.
I will not smile.
Okay, we can give each other thumbs up to please the media. That would be pretty good.
I like how Josh Gordon, like Schefter was reporting, like, oh, he's going to be benched, like, for at least the first quarter. Then he was out there, like, 12 minutes left in the first.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was tardy and they are just doing it kind of to protect him from the media. Or they just played him, I mean. Like, he was going to be benched. That report was legitimate, and then once it came out, Bill was like, you know what? No, we're not going to throw Josh out there as, oh, is Gordon already ruining it with the Patriots? Just play him and act like there was nothing.
Yeah.
Because then after the game, they basically denied it.
Yeah.
Well, Bill said, I don't know what you're talking about, basically, and Gordon said, you have to ask Coach about that. So
classic.
He is, I was going to say, he is learning the Patriot way in terms of
not talking.
Dialogue with the media and, yeah, not saying anything, which... He apparently is like, he's only doing press conferences. That's like his only media availability is the mandatory press conferences. And he answers like 2 or 3 questions and then goes. So bare minimum, which good. Hide that kid. Lock him in Brady's locker for all I care. And just, what was that?
Kiss him on the mouth.
Alex, to kiss him on the mouth?
Kiss him on the mouth forever, for years to come. It's the source of his fucking powers.
Brady's going to retire before he could be mouth-kissing Josh Gordon for years to come. But
no, he won't if he had Josh Gordon to kiss for years to come.
It'll keep him young.
It'll keep him young.
Okay, so I was thinking more from like a discipline standpoint, just so he couldn't be out doing bad stuff and because his locker is next to Brady's. But, which I think is just because of the numbers. But
12 and 13? Like
isn't he 10?
That probably makes sense.
I think he's 10, yeah. Jules is 11 and he's not next to him. Anyway. Instead, we're going to lock Josh Gordon in Brady's locker so that Brady has a consistent source of to mouth kiss, suck the lifeblood from a youth. And his sons don't have to sacrifice their energy.
Dad, we're weak.
Not today, please. No, come give me a real smooch.
I like Cam Newton.
Cam Newton's not a real quarterback. Yeah, all right. I can see it, actually. And Gordon would be probably a more productive, suck...
life force.
Yeah. He can suck out some of that athleticism through Josh Gordon's mouth.
Tom Brady starts running a 4.5.
Yeah, all of a sudden. You just see Gordon start getting, like, subtle love handles and like less muscle definition, Brady just gets like jacked.
Yeah.
You know, that's actually a good strategy. That would be pretty good return on the, especially because they really aren't paying Gordon anything. They really didn't give up anything. He's a contributor now, but not that much. So you might as well just
Suck his life
use
force.
him all up this season, giving all of his life force to Brady.
Yeah, that makes
His
sense.
energy and strength.
Yep.
Brady's the most
Sees him in
important
the
thing.
Locker room, sees him in the showers. What's up? What's up, Gordon? Did great out there.
You look like an
Death
NFL
Eater
receiver
status.
today. Okay, the life force of Josh Gordon. That wasn't on the list. Mariners wrap up for the season.
We already talked about that. The only thing I have to add is that we declined Denard Span's option yesterday. Or Denard Span did. I don't know. Either way, I'm bummed.
That's
It
too
was
bad.
only $12 million, and he was definitely worth that.
That
You
is
guys
too
think
bad.
Le'Veon's going to next.
Le'Veon is...
Oh, that's kind of interesting, actually. Do you think with how much do you think Le'Veon has cost himself now with how well James Conner has played? Because I mean, he is on pace for only 100 less all-purpose yards than Le'Veon's career high, and he's on pace to break his rushing yard career high.
Yeah, but when... I see. Okay, I will admit, first things first, I haven't watched that much Steelers games this season. At the same, and actually, Connor was out of it at least one of the games I watched. Was he only out of one game? Whatever. Anyway,
I don't know if he missed a game. I don't think he did.
I didn't really. Well, if he was in, then I wasn't impressed because I don't even remember him playing in the one game I watched.
Ooh, harsh.
I would.
What game was it, do you know?
No, I don't remember which one. I watched like 2 full Steelers games, don't remember which ones, and then a bunch of highlights from all of them. But I just don't think he's not the same player as Bell, obviously.
I don't know, dude. He's more efficient so far. I mean, obviously, small sample size, but
Very small sample size.
and
And for most of the
listen-
sample size leading up to and probably still right now, he's
Listen.
not the game plan focus.
Listen to this. First week, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns. Second week, not too great, 60 total yards, but a touchdown. Third week, 100 total yards. Fourth week, nothing. But then the last 3 weeks, 110 rushing yards and 85 receiving yards, 111 rushing yards, 20 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns, both those games. And then this week, he had 146 rush yards and 66 pass yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean,
He's the third highest scoring back fantasy wise.
I was just going to say, so he's a great fantasy back for sure,
Well,
which Lev Bell is also.
But he's doing it on less carries than Le'Veon did too.
When I watch, he's not the same back.
I don't know.
You're telling me that James Conner is one of the best backs in the league?
I think he has been this year
I think he has been this year statistically.
and in practice.
I don't know, man. I mean,
He's
maybe. The Steelers suck, which a running back won't fix.
they don't
admittedly.
suck. They've won like 4 in a row. They're like 5-3-1 or whatever.
They're pretty bad. Their only impressive wins have been against like the Browns this last week. Every week they play like mediocre teams to like the death.
Yeah, I guess.
I am not impressed by the Steelers at all. I haven't been at all this year. Pretty much not once.
They destroyed the Falcons.
The Falcons are trash. The Falcons shouldn't even make the playoffs, in my opinion.
I hope not.
They are a joke, legitimately.
They won't make the playoffs.
And they're also a great matchup for the Steelers because their defense is atrocious and their offense is literally incapable of seizing any moment, no matter how small it is.
They've put up a lot of points the last couple weeks.
The Falcons' offense?
Yeah, and they've won 2 in a row.
Yeah, another team, man. You watch them, and they cannot play at a high level.
Well, they just lost their entire defense.
Yeah, they lost their entire defense, and Matt Ryan loses his entire game when the moment gets big.
Nah, I haven't been seeing that really.
He's a little poopy pants man, Matt Ryan.
He's certainly no.
Him and Dan Quinn with
certainly not icy.
Terrible play calls and the taking sacks.
That was Kyle
in the
Shanahan.
worst situations.
It's Kyle Shanahan.
Quinn lets them. They do some dumb stuff late in games. They always with the 7-step drops for Matt Ryan to get out of field goal range. I feel like half the times I watch that team play, Matt Ryan takes a sack to move out of field goal range and hurt them at the end of the game.
They also have no rushing game this year. Tevin Coleman looks worse, and Devontae Freeman has played half a game.
Yeah, well, I don't care. I mean. Are you? I can't tell if you're making an excuse for Matt Ryan or agreeing with me because
I'm saying Matt Ryan's not playing that bad. I'm just saying everything else.
Well, he doesn't
sucks.
play that bad.
He's having an average Matt Ryan year.
Yeah, which I think is an average quarterback. I think average Matt Ryan years have led to him being overrated.
I think it's the 10th best quarterback.
Maybe.
He doesn't really turn the ball over.
Yeah, I mean, he's the 10th best quarterback, but that's also his absolute ceiling.
I mean, his ceiling is the MVP.
Yeah, and still not the best quarterback in the league. His MVP season, he wasn't the best quarterback in the league.
No.
They just had an offense they had an offense where every single play he had someone wide open who was fast and talented to dump the ball to. Which
key.
It's pretty helpful. I mean, that's like Goff isn't near the top quarterback in the league, and his stats look like it some weeks, I mean to say.
No, it's Patty Mahomes.
Well, and Mahomes, I think he is close. But he looks he's better than Matt Ryan, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, when I watch him,
that's a softball there, Walk.
And he's I know, but he's I'm saying already. It's not just he's a young quarterback with huge stats.
How would you compare him with Mr. Russell?
Well, I think at this point you got to take him over Russell.
I mean, yeah, definitely especially when you take their age.
Yeah.
And their contract into consideration.
Yeah.
I would say the quality of play is probably pretty close.
Yeah.
Mahomes might be playing better this season, but it's also just not fair given the amount of talent around him compared to what Russ has offensively to work with.
Well, and the offensive strategy.
Well, true.
Russell threw the ball 17 times on Sunday for 250 yards.
Well, but I also think that's partly out of necessity because early in the year they were throwing and they didn't have the offense to get it done at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was just they apparently really wanted to let Russell be, and then it wasn't working. So then they were like, "All right, well, go Schottenheimer, do your thing, run the ball 60% of the time."
What is the deal with NBA players buying Walmart costumes? Showing up as Black Panther from the grown-ups costume section.
It's funsies.
Is it?
Apparently.
It's Halloween right now.
Yes. Woo!
We had some kids come to the throwing from the one house.
Walker gave them Jolly Ranchers like a horrible person.
It's all I have because no one wants them.
Give them beer. That's what they want.
You want a Cedar Dust IPA, kids?
Yay!
Yeah. They said they love...
Ooh, Jolly Ranchers.
They said they love Jolly Ranchers.
IPAs.
We left all the lights off almost, and they still They still came, but we turned off all
Those
all of the
wildin'
lights
kids.
now.
It's not dark in here.
Yeah, well, because we're on the back side of the
Candle
house.
lit.
So we're hidden away in the podcast bunker on the couch.
Oh, and it's Ian.
Oh, turn your lights off, Ian, because Halloween is upon us.
My lights off.
Kids are gonna knock on your outside door if you don't. Yeah. Unless you have candy, turn your lights off.
I'm dabbing.
Hey, kids like that.
Yeah, that's probably not legal in Washington still.
For the children.
Yeah, for the giving THC products to minors at the door on Halloween.
Just like the news always tells you, dude.
It is just like the
College students are trying to drug you.
yep. Cannabis and college students ruining Bellingham, Washington's neighborhoods.
Yes.
How did I? Oh yeah, because the NBA players in their costumes. The NHL guys do it up, dude. There's some good NHL costumes, Jeremy. I tell you what. But whatever. That's another topic for a whole different podcast, which we're never gonna make.
The NHL Halloween costume special.
Well, we don't talk about hockey at all.
Not really.
Yeah. I mean,
Sidney Crosby's good, I heard. Alex Ovechkin.
Yep, those guys are both pretty good for sure, Jeremy.
That guy on the Oilers, Connor McDavid.
McDavid is good.
Yeah.
He might be better than Crosby now, but it's hard to
Hockey
say.
stuff.
Yep. Good hockey stuff. I feel like, you know what? I feel like we didn't spend long enough on the world's Cedar Dust IPA from Boundary Bay. Wow, that's good, Jeremy. Sponsor us, Boundary Bay, at Boundary Bay Brewing Co. I think. Yep. Sponsor us. Also, is it Elysian Brewing? What's their name?
Yep.
We're on the couch, if I didn't mention that before. There are sink noises and beers, and it's a casual podcast again. Anyway, the world's longest baseball game.
That was fun.
7.5 hours.
That was fun. It wasn't the longest ever. Longest
World's
postseason
longest postseason game ever. Longest baseball game I've ever even had to pretend to care about.
I casually
I did
watched
care.
all of it.
I knew it. That's what I said. I was like, you know what? One person that I know, like my grandfather, there's no way he watched all of it because he was asleep by the end of
Grandpappy
it.
Walk?
No, he was asleep by the end of it. That's a different thing because this thing ended at 3:30 a.m.
I was
on the East
thinking that.
Coast.
I was like, damn, some Sox fans are up till the 4 a.m.
Yeah, and think about who Sox fans are.
Go
All
Sox!
Sox
At
fans
least-
are 60 plus years old.
At least
so-
it was a Friday night.
Yeah, it was a Friday night. But anyway, I went to call the
I had to
Western
work at
hockey game.
7:30 a.m.
Lame. Why would you? Oh my God, I can't believe you stayed up to watch that mess with work in the morning. I was working at the time and I wouldn't have been watching it if I wasn't.
You wouldn't have been watching it if you weren't.
No, I would have been watching extras. I turned it on in the 9th and went to extras right before I had to go. I was like, well, that's a shame I'll miss this. And then at the end of so I got to the hockey game at 9:45 roughly, 10:15 puck drop, 20-minute periods, college hockey. End of every period, go to check the score. Every single time I'm expecting to see, because I don't have service, so there's no Bleach Report update. So on my little streaming computer, I Google the live, score update thing. Every time I'm expecting to get a final, it's like 13th inning, 15th inning, literally going into the third period, 20 minutes of game clock hockey left in this game, which started 5.5 hours. So the World Series game was a 5:15 Western start, Pacific time. The hockey game started at 10:15 Pacific, and with 20 minutes left to play going into the third period, it was the 17th inning, and they were still playing. I opened it to check the score, and I could not believe it. The baseball game, like I thought I was gonna get home and watch the end of this thing at 2:00 in the morning. They almost, Jeremy, they practically almost played until the sun came up. Like,
Nah, not in LA. It was only 1 a.m.
oh yeah, that's right. They were in LA. And well, no, but imagine that, Jeremy. Can you imagine watching a baseball game until 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
Sounds like
I
heaven
live
to
for
you.
that,
Yeah. Oh no.
I often think to myself, man, if I was on the East Coast, I could watch live sports till like 2 in the morning.
Ugh. I mean, I could be okay with Sunday night football
Yeah,
being
until
later,
like 1
all that
a.m.
stuff. Yeah, and then if they just like,
Nah.
and I don't remember, I heard a commentator talk about it long ago. I still think it would be a really cool idea if they just turned all the field mics up and just let's hear what's going on down there, man.
There'd be a lot of N-bombs.
I know, man. It's fine. Whatever they say, they say. It's what are we like? Why do we have to pretend that they're not?
There are children
Grown-
watching Walker.
That's so exactly. Think about Monday Night Football, Jeremy. If we're playing the games
Started
later,
at 2 a.m.
no, started at 7:30 Pacific.
Kids are still up at 7:30 Pacific.
Send your
Walk.
kids to bed. And the East Coast kids aren't. So that's the thing. You can bleep it in time for West Coast kids.
Well, then the West Coast isn't having the fun that the East Coast is.
You can still turn the field mics up, but you just have to live. You don't. It's not a bleep even. You could just
Then
live modulate the field mic so on the time delay for the West Coast broadcast, you just boop and just cut the sound out.
It'd just be a constant bleep.
No, it wouldn't.
Beep,
No,
beep,
it
beep,
wouldn't.
Beep, beep, beep.
And by the way, it's not like you never hear cursing from the camera mics in professional sports anyway.
That's true.
And also,
it makes me laugh.
everyone can read lips. And what the F, and you gotta be effing kidding me. And,
Not children walk.
I don't know what kind of dumb children you're talking about, but
6-year-olds. They're
Yeah.
pretty dumb.
who cares what 6-year-olds think, Jeremy? That's our marketing strategy now, is appeal to 6-year-olds
Yes.
for the NFL.
We need a future.
Dude, first of all, I don't like 6-year-olds that much.
I hate 6-year-old
That's like one
dudes.
of the worst ages of kids, I think,
I
probably.
I taught, and it sucked.
You taught?
Last summer, I had a job being like the summer tech camp instructor.
Tech camp instructor.
They're like 7 to 12-year-olds.
7 to 12 is not as bad as 6, Jeremy. That's why they call it the terrible 6.
That's false walk.
The sus 6.
You're fabricating information.
Sibilance.
The sus 6.
The sus 6.
Running through the 6 with Drake.
Running through. No. Stop that now.
Yeah, Wong. Stop that.
Yeah. Stop that.
You have anything more to say about the World Series?
No. It's cool the Red Sox won it. I mean, I do have a related.
Clayton Kershaw sucked again. He now has a lot of record bad stats, like most home runs in elimination games and like most home runs in the World Series.
He has the most playoff starts without a World Series championship. He's had that for a while, I think, this postseason.
Winner.
Yeah, he's a playoff loser for sure. I think this might be a free agent year for him, or next year he has an opt out or something. But there's a chance he could potentially leave LA
To the Sox.
to the Sox. I'm down for sure.
Then he'd poopy all over your pants.
True. They don't need more poopy pants men, even though one of them has unpoopied himself.
Tidy whities. Clean.
Playoff panties.
Fresh.
They
That's
were
what
good.
changed.
Yep.
David Price started wearing a thong.
His playoff panties. Hey man, whatever worked for him, and it worked for him. Sure did.
Steroids.
One thing I do think that is kind of notable related to the series is the whole, 11 championships in 17 years for Boston Big Four teams.
Oh, I don't know, combined.
Yeah, it's 11 in 17
Fourth
years.
for the Sox since 2004.
Yeah, so since 01, when the Pats got the party started,
Whee!
they've had 5. The Sox have had 4, and 1 each for the Celtics and Bruins.
Must be fun.
And the Celtics and Bruins each lost 1, and the Patriots lost 3. So they've been in 17 years, they've been in 16 title games combined. My childhood teams.
I can't wait for Brady to retire.
I know, dude. It's going to be a whole different world. At this point, I'm resigned to it. I'm kind of curious. I want to know what it's like to schlep around with
Being average
the
team.
common folk and be excited about the playoffs.
Woo, 8-8.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of it's kind of getting old, Jeremy.
I can imagine, dude. It's like being a Bama fan.
It
Like,
is. A
you're
good
like-
year is a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Everything else
exactly.
sucks.
That's the thing is
Yeah.
like winning becomes the expectation and
Yeah.
losing. It's like there's no good. There's only the possibility of losing and being bad.
Oh, I mean,
There's just okay and bad.
half of the exactly half of their regular season games, like I sit there and watch, and they win by 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, and I'm like, that was atrocious. I cannot. Like,
I'm gonna puke.
no, seriously, I get mad. I'm like yelling at my TV about like play calls in the fourth quarter when they're up by like 2 touchdowns over the Bears or something, which honestly, they have let some really bad teams back into some really bad games this year, so I don't feel like terrible about that. But at the same time, it's like you expect them to just be a wagon basically every year, all year. Yeah.
Except for the first like 3 weeks.
No, I still expect them to. I don't expect them to. Like, yeah, not a wagon. You're right. They start slow, but I expect them to be like chugging up to speed in the first 3 weeks. You're not supposed to have the Kansas City Monday Night Massacre loss or the Carolina game this year or whatever.
Hey, you guys played the Panthers?
Oh, was that last year? Who am I thinking of? I already
You
forgot
played
the
the
first
Chiefs
couple
on the
weeks.
first game of last year.
Yeah, I couldn't watch the first couple
The
weeks
first
because of work.
game
I
at
don't
the-
remember any of them.
The first game of the NFL season last year, they lost to the Chiefs at home.
No, I'm talking about this year now.
This year, I don't remember who the Patriots played week 1.
I'm not talking about week 1, but
Oh.
anyway, I think it was week 2. It doesn't matter. Or week 3. It literally does not matter. Well, they lost back-to-back, week 2 and week 3. Or was it week...
I think they lost week 1 and week 3.
I know they lost back-to-back.
Oh.
Yeah,
That
because
was probably 2 and 3.
they... Yeah, it must have been. Anyway, we don't need to sit here and puzzle this out. Technically, we could use the Google machine, but it's an old school podcast
I
now.
don't believe in the internet walk.
We don't need it. Just throw it up on YouTube for the people.
The people.
Yep. And they, the people in return, like and subscribe and go to the Facebook page at Throwing from the One and like and subscribe and like our memes that we share and comment on stuff, please. Just please. If you're listening right now, you know what? Podcast giveaway. If you comment on a Facebook post and you don't know, you know what? Okay. I'm going to have to think about some rules. You can't be Alex because he's sitting right next to us. That's
Wong.
low-hanging fruit. You can't be... I'm sorry. I don't want to like exclude, you know, it's hard, but basically you can't be somebody who I know listens to us. If you comment on a Facebook post on our Facebook page at Throwing from the One, and I'm surprised to see your name pop up down there, I will send you a signed by me and Jeremy youth large Tom Brady jersey
That's a steal.
in the mail. Shipping and handling free of charge by me.
Put it on your dog.
I'm pretty sure I got blue or white. So you can even choose home or away. And by the way, these vintage Tom Brady youth jerseys are coming from the prime Super Bowl era of his career.
From the first dynasty.
It's worth it. It's worth getting on the Facebook page and engaging with the podcast that you obviously enjoy, sitting here 45 minutes into the YouTube channel or or Shout Engine for those of you weirdos that enjoy our podcast. Yeah, we are still talking about video, secondary update, but probably never going to happen. Jeremy just wants to do the whole thing on a phone, then the audio will be garbage, and I won't compromise on the audio. We need to come up with a solution. Jeremy's in charge of it for future reference.
Oh.
No, just so everybody knows, because I'm going to keep saying
I don't know
that
if
it's
your
coming.
laptop can handle more things while...
Actually, I have 65 gigabytes of free disk space now.
I just meant it might crash.
I know, but I think it's going to run better now that it's not literally
It
jammed
will
full
definitely
in
help.
every single folder with shitty, not stolen music from the internet.
/ videos from the internet.
No, there's not
Wink.
really any videos.
Pictures.
I used to have some movies, but I've deleted those long ago. They take up far too much space.
Some movies.
Anyway, what else do you want to talk about, Jeremy? Basketball? We haven't talked about that at all, really. We're watching it.
We haven't really talked much about football other than the Patriots.
What else do you want to talk about?
The trade deadline happened.
True. And?
Golden Tate to the Eagles. I thought that was the most interesting move.
Yeah, and I think the Pats should have been in on it. Stupid 3rd-round pick, and they can't make that deal.
Oh, but he's a free agent after this season.
So what are you going to do with a 3rd-round pick next year? What are you going to do with your next year's 3rd-round pick in 3 years?
Draft Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, right. There's no quarterback drafting allowed now. You already sold out. No, they're going to draft a guard. You're going to draft a guard and put him at tackle.
Fun.
Probably. Or they'll trade. So the question is Golden Tate worth a 5th and a next year 7th? Because that's what they would trade that 3rd-round pick for. A 4th and a next year 7th. Yes. To me. For half a season of Golden Tate, yes.
If you
On the
Eagles
Patriots?
or the Patriots.
On the Patriots.
Yeah.
It is. Jeremy, they got to win, man. Seriously, since they traded Garoppolo, no, it's so dumb, dude. It's so dumb. Like, what is the hesitation? And I don't know if they were trying to make deals or because they didn't do anything. And, I mean, not that much happened, but they didn't do anything.
Gordon.
Not at the deadline.
No.
They still needed, this is what I'm saying. So they had Gordon.
But that was what they needed.
But no, that was part of what they needed. But that's what I'm saying. They had Gordon long enough to identify that they need more. They obviously need more.
More.
They need help. They definitely need help offensively. They just had a friggin', they were about to finish a game 12-6 with the Bills on freaking Monday Night Football.
They need Gronk to be Gronk. What's up with that?
Yeah, so,
dude?
well, no, exactly, because they've needed to play him this year to even be like having a shot at home field in the AFC.
He had like 3 catches on 8 targets Monday.
Yeah, man, because he's hurt, and they've been trying to protect him, and they still can't, and they need to use him to win, but they need to protect him to win in the playoffs. They need help offensively. There's not enough there. It's basically been Julian Edelman and James White with a little bit of help from, other guys. Sony he's
hurt.
Better than
he might be back.
I will
week,
say,
though.
Jeremy, one thing we did learn, he is a better running back than Cordero Patterson. That I would confirm. Cordero Patterson does not do anything well, except run in a straight line.
He has sweet hair.
He does have sweet hair, and he runs in a straight line pretty fast.
Vroom.
And he is quite large. But he literally cannot bend at the knees or waist, as far as I can tell. Are you kidding me? Oh, thank God. Oh, we just had a knock on the door. I thought we were being trick-or-treated again. I wouldn't have answered. Seriously, we're doing a podcast, and we're at this point too far in to take a break. So
that's not true.
Yeah, we are.
Nah.
No, Jeremy, the days of 3-hour throwing from the one podcast are over.
Boo.
No, not boo. What do you want to burn the Bible? What are you signaling to me, Alex? Okay.
Sus.
That was pretty sus move.
To say the
Alex
least.
Wong miming with a lighter and a Bible, or something. I don't understand what just happened. Okay, so yeah, Golden Tate. Oh, I started to say way earlier, big tangent, but the Patriots, they definitely were involved at the deadline. I don't know how much, but they were apparently in on Demaryius Thomas talks. But they wanted the Broncos to eat some of his money, and Denver wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And Demaryius Thomas, by the way, sucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
So-
what would Demaryius Thomas bring them?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Why would they? Yeah, I'm like glad that Denver wouldn't eat any of his money. And to me, it's probably like the Patriots are probably like.
But
so
honestly,
what's it
what
gonna be?
would Golden Tate bring them? He's basically Julian Edelman.
Oh, but another Edelman would be pretty helpful for them because right now it's Edelman and James White.
Chris Hogan.
Chris Hogan is not Edelman. No, Golden Tate's a lot better than Chris Hogan, man. Golden Tate, they don't have anyone else who can run a route, basically. Like Philip Dorsett, theoretically, but he doesn't even play anymore. I don't know. He's buried all of a sudden. Not all of a sudden. He just hasn't. He's gone. Gordon can sort of run routes, but at the same time, it's like he looks like he's getting concussions like every other play out there. He's just running into dudes. He gets smacked around, then he's wobbly getting up and super slow, goes off the field for like 20 plays and then comes
Pukes
back
3
on.
times.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
In the tent.
Last week, he's like got a long touchdown. He runs out of gas was that the week before?
I think that was last week.
Yeah, he makes this big play, like should have a long touchdown, runs out of gas at the 15-yard line, ends up like walking to get tackled at the 3 or whatever.
Jugging.
Like, it's something's not quite right. And either way, I mean, the thing is, it's still a good move. He's picked up some big first downs for him, and he's a big guy and a threat, which is all they really need him to be. But that's given the fact, or that's assuming the fact, I guess, that somebody else is going to come in to pick up the actual offensive load, because there is offensive slack that needs to be picked up. It's just that he's not the guy to do it, never has been.
Yeah.
And Tate can do more than him.
They're missing Gronk. That's what they need.
Oh, well, they are missing. They're definitely missing. But you can't. That's the problem. You can't count on that. And they know it. That's why they try not to throw to him. But this year, it's been apparent that they need to at times.
Just make him live in a cryogenic chamber for 2 weeks.
Well, really, I mean, realistically, they should. If you could just, like, inactivate the guy, like, they should just not play him. Just DNP, coach's decision.
Oh.
Gronkowski.
That was saucy.
That was saucy. Yeah, thanks. By the way, thanks ESPN for bringing us this gem of a Knicks-Pacers game on a Wednesday night.
It's been a good game. A close game.
It's been a close game. Now it's 101-106. Did anybody else move at the deadline? I didn't see any notable moves, really.
Dante Fowler got traded to the Rams.
Yeah, that's sneaky good move for them, too. The rich get richer in terms of that D-line, basically.
Ty Montgomery getting traded for a 7th after fumbling on Sunday.
Well, so did you hear what happened with that? Because it's not just that he fumbled.
Yeah, they also told him not to come out of the end zone, and he was complaining about his snaps.
Yes, they have a rule on that play not to come out of the end zone, and he basically threw a fit and took it. Just went solo and then
I'm
fumbled.
a do me.
Yeah. So, yeah, then they shipped him out, which I don't blame him. I mean, hey, you got a 7th-round pick for a guy that should have been cut.
The NFL equivalent of a ham sandwich.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he could have been cut, should have been cut for something like that.
Good deal for the Ravens,
I guess.
I mean, they have Alex Collins and Buck Allen right now. He does something that neither of those guys can do.
I guess, yeah, that's pretty terrible running back situation. But how do you even let yourself get to that point where you have to be trading for Ty Montgomery to help your running back situation? That's
Alex Collins was good last year.
Well, Ty Montgomery, I don't. He's nothing. Ty Montgomery is a nothing player.
I don't think he's nothing. He's a versatile player, if nothing else.
Well,
and I still think
being
he
mediocre
can help.
at 2 positions just means that you can be made worse at 2 positions if you count on the guy at either.
But he's a good catching running back. And that's what the Ravens don't
There's
have.
a lot of those though now.
Yeah, but not on the Ravens.
I know, but
And they got him for a ham sandwich.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I don't know. I think you can draft a guy like that in the 7th round. You can find guys like that on the street every offseason.
Chris Carson is a 7th rounder.
Yeah,
David Moore is a 7th rounder.
Dion Lewis was undrafted.
Adam Thielen was undrafted.
Yeah, but running back specifically.
Kurt Warner worked at a grocery store.
Okay, we're getting off track, away from the point here, but anyway. What else do you want to talk about in the NFL?
The Jaguars blowing up.
The Jaguars do still suck ass. I feel like that's been happening. Didn't we talk about them sucking with Grady?
Yeah, but I mean they keep losing.
Oh yeah, they're gone as far as I'm concerned. The Jaguars are done.
Oh, also the Bucks, Jameis Winston.
Yeah,
is
so
he done?
Jameis is a disaster this season, and it's back to Fitzmagic, and then it's back to Jameis.
He's tied for the most picks in the NFL, and he has 3 or 4 starts.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Is that Nate McMillan?
It's not good for the culture. That is Nate McMillan.
Nah, it wasn't. Was it?
Yeah, it was. It sure was.
He looks fatter.
He's older. He's the Pacers coach.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that.
Yeah. Good old Nate McMillan, former Blazers coach and
Sonics coach.
Dude. That's what I thought. Must like the Northwest.
Well, he played for the Blazers.
Oh, that makes sense for sure. That also explains why a lot of Blazers fans I know really liked him. Even by the end of his career, he seemed like he was doing nothing for the team. To me,
Big Nate.
Blazers are lame. If you're a Blazers fan listening to this, thank you for listening. But yeah, you're kind of lame for liking the Blazers.
Yeah.
You should have been, unless you live in Portland. I guess actually there might be some Mariners fans and stuff in Portland.
Yeah.
Who would find our podcast that I should avoid alienating right now.
Hello, Portland.
I've never been a fan of your team.
I would love to see the Blazers do well, but they won't.
Actually, you know what? That's true. And I would agree with that. I've never been a fan, and I still don't really like the Blazers, but it would be good to see them succeed. And I do root for you, Portland.
And Paul Allen.
And yes,
PGA.
That would be a good story. Rest in peace, Paul Allen.
Seahawks could do it for Paul.
Seahawks are not going to do it for Paul.
Do it for Paul.
Unfortunately. What's the game you're going to on Sunday?
Chargers
Seahawks game. Jeremy's going to be there. What's it going to be? What do you think the game's going to happen?
I think we pull it out 27-20 walk.
27-20 prediction from Jeremy. That sounds
big game.
Reasonable.
Our next 4 games are against the Chargers, the Rams, the Packers, and the Panthers. And this game and the Packers game are at home. And the Packers game is also a Thursday night. So we got to find a way to at least split those 4 games. So winning the home games,
Good start.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Chargers are like number 4 in the ESPN power rankings.
A split is doable because I think you can beat the Packers at home.
Yep.
Panthers are beatable.
We could beat the Panthers even in Carolina.
Yeah. And
I mean, we probably won't beat the Rams, but it's not like impossible,
You should beat the Chargers at home, I would say.
ESPN has us as a 53% chance to win, Walk.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me because I think you should beat the Chargers at home. But at the same time, it's, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of Phillip Rivers, but I think he's a little underrated.
I hate
at
Phillip
this point.
Rivers.
No, but I do have respect for his game.
No.
Yeah, at this point in his career.
He's angry and he's mean.
He is,
and he throws lots of
so
interceptions.
Mean, dude. I like that part of the mean part. It is kind of, he's like...
He also has like 9 children and married his wife when he was like 18, and they lived in her parents' basement till he signed his first contract.
And he won't move to Los Angeles for work because he doesn't want his kids to be raised in that ungodly city. I'm not kidding.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But
so
San Diego,
he commuted to LA from San Diego the whole first season.
what is he doing now?
I don't know, but he might still be commuting via helicopter, I think, a lot of the time.
Chopper.
How stupid. Like, first of all,
That's quarterback stuff.
yeah, like, but at the same, dude, do you realize how expensive helicopters are?
Yeah.
Like, he can't.
$6.
No, an Uber from San Diego to LA would be can conceptualize that. I don't even know, but it's a lot. I'm sure.
It's like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah,
Probably like $200.
yeah. So, a chopper ride. Chopper is quite a bit more expensive than a 2011 Accord.
Nah.
Yes.
Nah.
And it is quite a bit more expensive to operate.
$6.
And also, chopper companies pay pilots better wages than Uber does. I would think.
This is my side gig.
Yeah.
Private copter
Fly
pilot.
choppers during the day. Uber at night. It's a side gig, isn't that their ad?
I don't
the gig
sleep.
Or whatever?
Yeah.
But yeah, he. Anyway, I don't even remember. It wasn't always by chopper, but anyway, the amount of money he spent on that, like, guaranteed he could be staying at
Best Western.
some nicer place than Best Western. I don't know what are good.
LeBron's house.
There's got to be,
LeBron's house.
he could be staying at LeBron's house.
One of his two houses
Theoretically.
in LA.
Okay. Or Jeremy, how about this? He could buy himself a condo in LA.
Nah. Don't be ridiculous. Sleep at the office. Sleep
doesn't-
on.
or-
They have couches, blankets, pillows.
I still think Phillip Rivers could beat the Seahawks on Sunday. That's basically my whole point. Even though he's a dick. He is. I admit it.
He could, but I like our chances.
I would pick the Seahawks as well, but I do think 53% chance to win sounds about right to me. Maybe 55. I
Yeah,
would go.
it would help if Melvin Gordon and Joey Bosa don't play.
That would help quite a bit because both of those guys are pretty dang good.
Yeah,
I like both a lot.
that's funny.
Oh my god. Eric Andre. Humor.
I think we'll be
Courtesy
able
of
to run the
Alex.
ball on the Chargers, no matter, even if Joey Bosa does play.
Yep.
So it'll be
Seahawks
up to our
game.
defense,
Running.
which so far looks like a good bet. I mean, held the Lions to 14 points.
Yeah, they might. The Seahawks are they're dragging themselves along at this point for sure. I mean, I know they're playing pretty well. It just is like,
Did you see Chris Carson absolutely truck stick Slay?
no, I did not.
It was clowning. It was like first and goal from the 9. And like it was like supposed to be an inside run, and then Carson cut it, like went across the play off tackle, and then he met Slay at the 3 or 4 and just like absolutely Madden truck sticked him. It was awesome.
Nice. Good for Chris Carson. I still feel like the Seahawks deal right now is kind of held together with like bubby gum and glue.
How many weeks is it gonna take, Walk?
For what? Me to believe?
Yeah, it's been 5 in a row now.
Well, how many weeks are there until the playoffs? Because as soon as they get into a close playoff game and can't run the ball like that anymore, it's,
But will that happen?
yeah.
Will it?
Yeah, in the playoffs for sure.
And I mean, well, then even then,
It's gonna happen in the
Russell
Rams
Wilson
game.
can make plays. Then we just go back to what we were.
Well, what you were at the beginning of this year was a team that couldn't score.
I meant like last year.
I don't think it's
Beginning
as
of
easy as
this year was
going
just a
back.
mess.
I think, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, Brandon Marshall is our number 2 receiver to start the year, and he's gone.
Well, yeah, but who's
David
he
Moore
replaced with?
David Moore, who has 4 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks, and like 2, like has had 90 yards in 3 straight games, and is awesome.
Oh, he's awesome now.
He is awesome, Walk.
Okay, maybe I'll have to watch David Moore on Sunday while I'm looking for you in the stands there.
He should. Yeah, I bet we're the national televised game. I don't know
It's
that
a morning
for sure.
game.
No, it's a 1:00 game. It's never morning at home.
Oh, They never play like.
They never have a 10 a.m. kickoff at local time.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't understand what's
Because
wrong
then
with the
people
morning.
would have to get up at like 6 a.m. and no one wants to be drinking and rowdy at 10 in the morning.
Oh my God, grow up.
Grow
Play football
up.
in the morning.
No, just start the
Yeah.
game at 1.
Why?
Because why not?
So,
It's way better.
Don't have to spend all fucking Sunday on it.
I want to.
I know you do. That's what I'm saying. But people like.
Then just watch your team's game and go and then do other stuff.
No, that's what I'm saying, Jeremy. That's what I do. That's what I do. And if the game's at when the game is at 1, it's like half of your day. You got it because you can't. You can go do something early in the morning, but then you still got to get up if you want to get anything done on Sunday. Otherwise, it's practically dark by the time your team's done, and then the only good game of the day is on. Half of the weeks. And then half of the week, Sunday Night Football is terrible too.
Nah.
I don't see a need for it. You can play at the beginning or the end of the day.
Nah, playing at 10 a.m. most of the time, like the majority of the time would be lame.
Oh, I hate when the Patriots are on later.
I really don't like being on Monday Night Football or even Sunday Night Football. And I do enjoy playing at 10 a.m. and then winning and then watching 2 more football games, having already won for the day. It's very satisfying.
I just want to get it done.
But, I mean, I don't want to get up. I don't want to have to be up by 9 every Sunday.
Oh, no, 9 o'clock.
Dude, I have to get up at 7, like 6:30 on a lot of Saturdays.
Oh, no, 6:30 and then 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
it is.
There are worse things.
No, it's not.
Yeah, there are.
No.
Yep, it's good actually. You think
No.
about all the time you get, all the extra daylight
But then I'm
this time of
tired.
year.
I like
Or-
the night.
But think
The
about
night's chill.
have you ever thought about it this way? If you go to sleep,
No.
then you can get the same amount of sleep.
Nah.
Yeah.
But then, nah.
Yeah, especially because that works since you get up earlier the first day, because then you just go to bed earlier because you're tired the first day, and then you get up.
But then I'm going to bed
next
early
day.
Friday night to get up on Saturday morning. Then I'm going to bed early Saturday night to get on Sunday morning.
Well, if you're going, you don't have to get sleep both nights. You can no. One of the days is a recovery. You sleep.
But I gotta watch football on Sunday.
Yeah, so you don't need like any sleep.
But then I'm gonna be tired on Monday.
No, so what are you talking about? What does that have any bit? You go to bed right after football on Sunday. There's plenty of time to sleep.
I want to go to bed at 9 p.m.
So don't.
Am I 75 years old?
So
Walk?
don't. Then stay up. Why are you going to be tired on Monday from getting up Sunday?
'Cause science.
That's not how it works. That's absolutely not how it works.
It is, dude. You've never had sleep lag when you are tired from a bad night's sleep 2 nights ago.
No.
It happens.
A
real thing.
I don't think it's going to happen from you getting up at 9 a.m. on a Sunday. Play football earlier. Get it done with.
It does.
And don't play it at all on Thursdays or Mondays. That'd be fine.
No, I like Monday Night Football.
That'd be fine if you want to do all night Sunday and just
you
not.
can't get rid of Monday Night Football, Walk.
Oh, you absolutely can. I wish
Cannot.
they would.
Nope.
I wish they would.
Nope.
I've grown to hate Monday night almost as much as Thursday night football.
Yeah, it's pretty much just as bad.
It's the games are terrible. What is the point? Why are we doing this? Why are we
Not
watching?
always terrible.
They're terrible 3/4 of the time, like half of NFL games.
Seahawks Patriots Monday Night Walk. Remember that?
Remember that. Exactly. We're reminiscing about it, not analyzing it on our sports news podcast.
That was a great game, though.
So
Walk.
what are we doing?
Watching Monday Night Football.
We're not, thank God. That Pats Bills
Tom
game is a
freaking
perfect
Brady
example.
on Monday Night Football.
It's an example to get the Bills on national TV, or I mean, not. It's an opportunity to get the Bills on one of their national TV games.
Well, it's tough because you can't flex Monday Night Football like Sunday Night Football, so there's gonna be some duds.
So here's an
you
idea.
Can't predict everything.
Don't put the Bills on national TV ever.
Well, but then people want to see the rookie quarterbacks at least once or twice.
Did we see a rookie quarterback or did we see Derek Anderson?
Well, yeah, but they don't know that.
Yeah, so don't risk
August,
it. Keep the garbage teams
March.
off TV.
What?
So don't risk it. Keep the garbage teams off TV.
People want to see
It
the
doesn't
Browns.
even matter. This is
Go
making
Browns,
me so
go.
mad to talk about
Hugh
this 'cause
Jackson
they can
got
do whatever
fired.
they want.
Hugh Jackson got fired.
Finally, my God.
Urgh.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird timing.
It
and
was
I thought
weird
it was
timing.
particularly weird that they then fired
They
Todd Haley.
just figured out that Hugh Jackson is an idiot 3 years into this thing.
Well, why do you think they fired Todd Haley?
Because they just figured out he's also an idiot.
But he's not an idiot.
Yeah, he is.
He's been a very successful offensive coordinator.
I think he's been largely overrated. He's been a consistently... All Todd Haley does is call what's the thing that we're doing in the NFL right now, call those plays. He doesn't innovate anything. He doesn't change anything about teams. I mean, I think he obviously wasn't ready to be a head coach, and I don't think he ever will be. The Steelers' offense has been
coach.
Yeah, and he was terrible. That's what I'm saying. He was not ready. He could not control
Hugh Jackson
the whole
went
NFL
8-8 once with the Raiders.
Yeah, I don't. And he's got a whole career out of it because that's been the only indication in Hugh Jackson's. You know what Hugh Jackson is? He's a wide receivers coach. And that's
Ooh.
legitimately the peak of what he ever should have been in the NFL.
Nah, he's going to work for the head office. Could be like a PR guy.
For the NFL office?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, good for him. That's better than him for doing anything involving football ops because he doesn't have a knack for that part. Again, wide receivers coach who was friends with Chad Ochocinco. That's how he ended up with a coaching career because that's all he was a wide receivers coach. It's all he had ever done. Former wide receiver, ended up getting, I don't know, some job.
Wait, he played wide receiver?
I'm pretty sure.
Says.
He was a wide receivers coach his whole career, literally all he did.
That don't mean you played wide receiver. It just means you likely played wide receiver.
That's why I think he played wide receiver. I don't even know if he played. All I know is all he knows about is being a wide receiver and coaching bad football teams to bad records. That's all he's ever done. Except for the one season with the Raiders, apparently. I didn't remember that.
Yep.
But he, again, I mean, I know the Browns want to, and there's all this talk in the NFL about sticking with coaches and if the bad coaching is because teams won't give them a chance. But if you're the Browns, you do have to find the guy with promise to stick with, not like Hugh Jackson, just to give him a shot. Because Hugh Jackson, it was not going to work.
Well, right, they went to, I mean, who's the guy to give a shot with now?
Anybody but that's why you do this before this offseason last year. I mean, I agree that
the Oklahoma
timing is stupid. They would have been better off letting him finish the season than
Do you know this is the 5th straight Browns coach to get fired after the second Steelers game?
That is hilarious, actually. Kind of. That's got to be a coincidence. I hope they don't just freak out in Cleveland because they want to beat the Steelers so bad. Even though I could see that because they want to knock off the top of that division, start crawling up.
1-15.
Oh, they're just so almost there, but they're so still the Browns.
No, they've definitely regressed from those first couple weeks.
They're almost there though.
I mean, they'd have a couple more wins just if they had a good kicker.
Yeah, like that's what I wasn't,
Hugh Jackson would have a job if they had a better kicker.
I'm not saying they're almost to being like contenders in the AFC, but they're almost like a team.
Is Baker Mayfield the GOAT?
Baker Mayfield has a chance to be a legit quarterback, I think. But
He struggled the last couple weeks.
Yeah,
He only completed like 40% of his passes last week.
I wasn't
this Sunday.
I wasn't
Sunday
that
before.
impressed by his good games, honestly. For what they were and the amount of hype he got, he looked good. But I think rookie quarterbacks right now, their play gets inflated.
We forgot to talk about Jameis.
We brought it up.
Yeah, but then we didn't.
What else is there to say? Jameis is inconsistent.
Well, he's a
picks.
free agent this offseason, and they've now named Fitzpatrick the starter for this week. Does he get his job back this season? What happens?
If he doesn't, then he's probably hitting the market.
Well, yes.
I would let him go, I think.
Would
at
another
this point.
team then pay him starting money? Well, but I mean, you start Fitzpatrick this year, and maybe the Bucs salvage, and best case scenario, salvage a 9-7 season.
Yeah, you'd be better
And
off
then-
not even starting Fitzpatrick.
And then Fitzpatrick is 37 going on
Fitzpatrick
36
isn't-
going on
Fitzpatrick
37.
shouldn't even be the starting solution for this year. And
Well, it's one of the two there, Walk.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is that he's not a starter. He's a backup, period. And he is their backup this season. He's not really the starter this season. And then if he does start the games, it's not there is nothing long term. We've seen the ceiling. It's not good enough to take you anywhere.
I mean,
And he's
it
too
could
good
be if
this
you
year.
kept
He's
that
too
ceiling
good to
forever.
Yeah,
It
but
just
that's not
only
what he
lasts
does.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Hey, you could turn it around at 36.
And I don't know. He's going to be like too good for him this year and win him too many games. We need a draft pick to get the next guy.
Yeah. Can always trade up.
At the end of the day, they're still going to be the Bucks, and they're still going to play in Tampa Bay, and I'll never care about them.
Ooh, harsh.
No, just it's Tampa Bay sports. People in Tampa Bay don't care. Why would I
Go
care?
Rays.
No one cares about the Rays.
Go Rays. Old people care. Walk.
Okay, that's enough Rays talk for one podcast, I think.
How
What do
about
you-
David Snell, Blake Snell,
What?
the Rays pitcher who's from Bothell?
No,
who
no,
was
no,
like
no.
a Cy Young candidate.
No. That's enough Rays talk for one podcast. What's going on in the NBA that we didn't briefly mention? The Raptors are 7-1.
Yeah, the Lakers are 2-5. The Rockets are also 2-5.
I know they had the same record earlier this year, but yeah, Lakers not that surprising. Rockets kind of surprising to me.
Oh, yeah, it's gotta be.
I mean, although I have heard some NBA, I don't remember who it was, but some of the NBA analysts, the TV voice guys, have talked about how they thought the Rockets were going to be bad this year defensively.
Oh, but they were bad last year defensively.
I know, but worse this year defensively.
But they didn't. Theoretically, did they lose anyone this offseason?
Trevor Ariza
That's something.
and I don't remember who the other guy was. But they lost some defensive
They didn't
guys.
lose Capella. They didn't lose Harden or Paul, obviously.
They gained Melo, which is like losing 2 or 3 slots worth of.
That's like playing 3 men down on defense.
It really is.
He actually
honestly.
tackles other defenders. He is negative defense.
It's like we're joking, but only barely.
What was that one?
I was pushing my neck up and then it just slipped from under me.
Alex Wong, ladies and gentlemen, killing himself with a hammer live on the podcast for your listening pleasure. Good stuff. Cool.
Exclusives.
The Lakers, I'm not surprised. Are you surprised? Is anybody that surprised?
I think they'd be better than 2-5.
Better than 2-5, but also it's the NBA. It'll even out. They're gonna be better than 2-5.
Well, there's 75 more games to play, Walk.
Yeah, and they're gonna. It evens out. Teams start slow in the NBA when they have fresh chemistry. Excuse me. We've seen it with the Celtics even this year. They're finally starting to find their groove. It feels like. I haven't had a chance to watch them much since opening night, but
LeBron teams in general.
LeBron teams start slow.
But this
in
is
general.
his worst start since his rookie year.
Well, this is his worst team since last year.
I was
Actually.
gonna say since last year.
Right. No. Last year's team was worse. But also, this is his worst team, his worst new scenario for him since his rookie year.
Well, there's only been 3, Walk.
Well, right.
And one of them
4,
was a super team.
So his rookie year was worse than this. But then after that, going to Miami, yeah, exactly, super team. Coming back to Cleveland, he had Kyrie, and he's comfortable with the environment in Cleveland and all that. This year, he's going to L.A. There's really barely any talent on that team, honestly. I'm sorry. I know for some reason everyone loves Josh Hart all of a sudden because he scores layups, and Brandon Ingram can kind of shoot.
He's tall.
And he punches Chris Paul in the face, which I like.
I'm going to come at you like a spider monkey.
Yeah. With this spider monkey sucker punch move. It's a nice one. But yeah, there's just...
Derrick Rose dropped 50 points.
Wow.
Holy shit.
That's pretty out of character.
Are you kidding me? MVP
No.
season, the rebirth.
50 points is... Jared Bayless dropped 50 points in a game one
Dude,
time.
but think Derrick Rose, people weren't sure if he was going to be able to play in the NBA like 6 months ago.
I don't remember that. I mean, like, more than you always wonder if he's going to be able to play in the NBA?
No, like exactly the same amount. And now he dropped 50 points.
Yeah.
That's something. That's fun.
That is something. Kyrie had his first 30
What
burger
could have
last
been,
night.
dude? What could have been?
Yeah.
Did you see Jimmy Buckets going off against the Lakers in the fourth quarter?
I did not.
He had like 15 points and went 5 for 5 from 3 in the fourth quarter, including hitting like a very contested shot to seal it with like 10 seconds left.
Have you heard anything else about the war going on in that locker room?
No, there really hasn't been anything.
Yeah, me neither. It's kind of weird.
They're just
It's
chilling,
too quiet, in my
being
opinion.
like 4-4 or something.
Yeah,
Hanging.
the mediocre team that they are. Jamal Crawford, the old man, checking in for the Phoenix Suns, who he now plays for.
Seattle product.
Yep. I was gonna say something about that's long gone. Kyrie, yeah, no, it's way gone.
He cut his hair and dropped 30.
Yep, he's a new Kyrie now.
He's
Feeling
the
good.
old Kyrie.
True. Back to the old Kyrie. He's a new old
That
Kyrie.
hair was weighing him down.
Well, that hair, and Tommy Heinsohn says he's 5 pounds overweight.
Oof. Ouch.
Yeah, which I believe.
Ooh.
Klay Thompson hit 14 threes in a game.
Yep.
New record.
Yeah. And he didn't play the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Well, yeah, basically, exactly. He hit 14 threes in 3 quarters.
Yep.
It was not chill.
Chill.
The Warriors are not chill, Jeremy.
Is Clay the best pure shooter ever?
Is Klay the best pure shooter ever?
Yeah.
I still don't think he's the best pure shooter on the team, to be honest with you. I would take Steph's shooting over. I mean, it's hard because Steph is definitely a better scorer, and it's kind of like hard to separate his scoring from his shooting. But I would also say Clay is a higher percentage of the time just because he's getting catch and shoot looks a lot. They're less difficult shots, I would say.
I think out of everyone ever, Clay would win the most 3-point contests.
Maybe, yeah, he might be the best pure 3-point contest shooter. That might be fair. But like, see, that's like a good example with Steph. Like, I include his floaters and stuff in his shooting. It's just like the guy that's like shooting to me still, not separate even from scoring almost.
Threes.
No, like even his like horse like trick shot ability, like the way he can just throw the ball up on those when he like throws the super high floaters that go in.
From the logo.
Yeah. That's like that guy is good at
That pisses
throwing.
me off.
He can throw that basketball through that basket, Jeremy. Real well.
That pisses me off when he does that.
Yeah.
When he just like makes 3 in a row, he's like, "Cool, I can make everything right now."
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like 2 dudes on me from the side court logo.
Yeah.
What? Swish.
Yeah, I mean you might be right. Clay might hit the most threes in that contest, but I think Steph wins the game of horse with no dunks, for sure.
With no dunks.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's like, you could play horse with dunks in there, and that's like, I don't think Steph's going between the legs. So.
Let's see, any other NBA stuff?
The Raptors are 7-1.
Oh yeah.
They look like the real deal.
Kawhi looks
somewhat.
like he's Kawhi.
Kawhi does look like he's Kawhi.
Are you worried?
No.
Not even slightly more worried than you were?
Okay, maybe slightly more worried than I was, but it's still... The Raps are still the Raps, even if Kawhi is Kawhi. So once we get to the playoffs, we'll see about all this.
The Drake curse.
There's the curse of the 6. And then I would also say that even with Kawhi...
The curse of Adonis.
Kawhi's still not better than LeBron last year. And the Raptors are better than the Cavs without LeBron, but without Kawhi, this Raptors team's not 7-1. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So I think the Celtics are still, I mean, the depth on that Celtics team, they're not playing well at all right now by their standards, and they're still beating almost everybody in the East now that they're starting to figure it out. Which, I mean, it's early. They haven't played everybody even, but there's too much talent. There's too much depth. I trust in Coach Stevens. Brad. I am not worried.
Pencil pusher. That's all he is.
I think looking at it right now, I would pick it as a series, likely. If we're starting a 7-game Eastern Conference Finals tomorrow, I think it's probably going 6 or 7 for sure, but I do like the Celtics over the Raptors. Kawhi's the best player in the series, but the Celtics might have the next 2 best, if not the next 3 best, and they definitely basically have... I don't know. This is going to get weird with like how many guys we're going to include, but the top part of the Celtics roster is better than the top of the Raptors roster, and that's what matters in the playoff series.
Yeah.
Even with Kawhi included, and I like Kyle Lowry, but it's still like Kyrie and Kyle Lowry score on each other, and then it's Kawhi versus the Celtics' entire wing group, which is a lot of different guys. And on any given night, we've seen somebody's going to score. No, I'll take the Celtics, guys.
Nah, Kawhi.
Well, no, because Kawhi can shut one of them down, but there's going to be 2 of the other Celtics guys on the floor at any given time.
Kawhi.
And Amir Johnson or whoever is not.
I've never even heard of that person.
Oh, my God. Yeah, he's mediocre, but he's like a long-time role. Anyway, I'm not worried about the Raptors, A, by virtue of them still being the Raptors, and B, because I think the Celtics have enough borderline, at least legit top-end guys at this point that they can go out there in a playoff series and get somebody going on any given night. I like them.
Fair enough. I don't know. Anything else there, Walk?
I don't think so, Jeremy. I think that's a pretty respectable Tuesday and Wednesday night right there.
Halloween.
Yep.
Woo!
Happy Halloween.
You can't tell, but I'm actually dressed up as Megatron.
Yep. And I'm dressed as Danny Amendola in a Dolphins uniform.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Did you break that girl's arm at a Super Bowl party?
No, that was just alleged allegations.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, Throwing from the One, episode 20. Likes on Facebook. Subscribe.
Grady
YouTube,
Podcast.
Grady Podcast.
Dana White's Dirty Draws.
Peace.